Good morning. I've been reading through the book of Psalms and enjoying my coffee, and it's time to reflect on a little bit more about the book of Psalms. As you read through multiple Psalms, you might wonder, what's the rhyme or reason? Does one connect to another? Are they all individuals, or are there meant to be themes? There are many theories that abound about this, but I want you to think about a couple things this morning. First, if you look through the whole thing, you realize you're going to read through 150 Psalms. That makes this particular book of the Bible the longest book of the Bible. None others have that many chapters. But remember, each chapter we take individually and look at what the psalm is saying. One theory that talks about how we can understand the whole of the book of Psalms is to break it up into 5 books. And each of those 5 books would reflect the Pentateuch, which is the first 5 books of the Bible. Now, this is just one theory, and you might see that as we look at which books fit in what category, you're like, well, this psalm doesn't really fit. This is just one general theme that scholars have lifted up, and I hope this helps you as you study the book of Psalms. So, one reason that we might see the first 5 books of the Bible reflected in the Psalms, is that the people of Israel use this as their hymn book, and they're continually trying to reflect on how they see God in their life and how it comes into their worship. And when they understand the law, and they understand the first 5 books as central to who they are as the people of God, that is their story, then they have to reflect on how they react to it. What do they think about it? How do they feel about it? How does it affect their everyday life? So those first 5 books of the Bible were designed by God to give us a pattern of God's working in human life, and in the whole of creation, and in the whole of human history. And the Psalms then reflect the reactions of the human heart to what God is doing in our lives. The first book takes Psalm 1 through Psalm 41, and that reflects the book of Genesis. And here we see a lot of the cry of human need and hearing the human longing for God, especially at times when they feel separation from God. And there's a lot of calling out to God in desperate need. Again, this may not fit for every book in this little breakdown, but just one way of looking at it. The second book includes Psalm 42 through Psalm 72, and that reflects the book of Exodus. Now remember, this is where they're freed from slavery. So it tells the story of how the people learned about God's grace and how it would, and learned about God's power to deliver them from sorrow and slavery. That's an important part of their story and reflecting upon it. The third book includes Psalm 73 through Psalm 89 and reflects the book of Leviticus. And this is where we focus on the tabernacle of worship. Who is God when people come into God's presence? How do they feel when they sense the presence of God? What does it mean to come for worship? What does it mean to experience that holy and sacred place? And what does it mean for humans then to share our heart with God and to discover more about God? The fourth book includes Psalm 90 through Psalm 106, and it reflects the book of Numbers. And this really looks at the wilderness of human failure, how God continually provides, like we would learn about in the Exodus story, but yet humans, we complain. So you're going to hear some complaints and some larger questions in this section. The fifth book is broken down from Psalm 107 to Psalm 150, and this is reflecting the book of Deuteronomy. And this is now, as the people reflect on everything, it's a new experience of being able to offer thanksgiving and praise. There's a lot of praise as you find in the last section. This is one way of looking at the book of Psalms, breaking it down into 5 books and seeing what themes you find. What do you find as you read through the book of Psalms?